Hi, how's everybody doing? This is Dominic. I am here with Erwin Garcia today. We have a special cast. All of you who have ever wanted to know anything about Web3, cybersecurity, specifically security in the Web3 realm, I believe that this is going to be the best cast for you guys to watch. Not only that, but we're going to go over a very elaborate, brand new, elaborate scam. And I want everybody, all this community, anybody who's sharing this, anybody, if you could share this with other people that you know that like crypto, metaverse, NFTs, or even just who like to surf the net in general, all of you guys, and who are prayer warriors who want to preserve your kingdom assets so they can be used for the kingdom. If you don't want your family getting scammed, you don't want your kids getting scammed, you don't want yourself getting scammed, you don't want your retirement, your life savings to be wiped away. Listen, you need to watch this. It's very short, but we're going to have our expert, Erwin Garcia, come up. He is going to provide you with some very line upon line, precept upon precept, bullet point upon bullet point. Keep your assets safe. This is called Web3 spiritual warfare, right? You're using assets in the spirit for your spiritual, you're using your natural assets for the spiritual purposes. So you have to do warfare in the natural and in spirit by using your mind. Okay? Use your mind and your spirit. Prayerfully avoid these things and also use natural wisdom. And so we're bringing that wisdom component in so that you can avoid getting scammed and having problems. So let me introduce our guest. You guys have seen him before. His name is Erwin Garcia. He is a great man of God and an educator for the kingdom of God in the crypto Web3 space. Here's Erwin. Erwin, how you doing, brother?
I am blessed and highly favored. I'm trying to get this thing to work. I know that augmented reality. There you go. Welcome. Just like,
Oh, look at that.
and thank you for the love, Dominic. We're brothers.
Yeah,
I gotta
bro.
show you this as well. Look at this. This is so cool. I love you, brother. Thank you for this show.
Look at
Augmented
that.
reality,
Love you
iPhone
too, man.
tricks. Just enhances
You got to show me
the
how to do
moments.
that.
But thank you for having me.
Oh, so you're using your iPhone.
Yes, iPhone camera is pretty cool. Like, I mean, you can do stuff like that. I mean, you can have like balloons. It's just so cool. Like when you have balloons like this in the front and in the back, you can see that. You see that front and the back, just so
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like, it's neat
Oh,
stuff.
that's great.
So as my camera,
Yeah, we're gonna do another cast specifically on AR and VR. That's huge, guys. That's huge. Listen, AR and VR, you're not going to be able to really, I guess, do anything that is going to really shake anyone up unless it's going to be AR or VR because everybody's going to be so overstimulated that unless you have some kind of extra stimulation, some kind of extra thing going on, people are just going to look over you. They're just going to pass you up. Oh,
I hear you.
you're
I
in
hear
the
you.
old school. So you're going to have little floating things all over the place.
Yeah, like
Also glasses too,
sorry, I have to
right?
do that. I have to do that again. That's just so neat. Like I have to. It's just a lot of fun. This is in the iPhone right now. Lastly, is the storm. Bring the rain down. Let's go, Jesus. It's so cool like that.
So it reads what you're doing with your hands, and
Yeah,
then it
there's a
just
few
does.
of them.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
Yeah,
that.
this is so cool.
So we have a special topic today, and it's on Web3 security. And now there was an elaborate hoax that happened recently, and one of my affiliates and one of our projects had land stolen. It was an NFT land in the sandbox. And I'm going to explain the most elaborate hoax at the end. You got to stick to the end to hear this, okay? And then Erwin's going to give you ways to have avoided this. This really happened. This happened like just a couple of days ago, okay?
Wow.
It was the most elaborate. And I've taught people how to avoid scams. But this one was so elaborate. I don't even know if the experts today. Now, I've heard of other experts who's like they knew better and they made a mistake and they lost $10 million because they entered their seed phrase. And I'm like, oh, that's such a rookie mistake, right? So if little rookie mistakes can cost you $10 million and you think you got those covered, what are the less rookie mistakes? This is one of those that you think you know it all and then you don't know it all, and it costs you thousands or millions in order for you to accept the fact that you don't know it all. If you think you know it all, you need to stick to the end. I guarantee you, you're going to be shocked and amazed. And we're going to let our expert here show us how to have avoided something like that. So, Erwin, can you tell us some of the basics and then move into maybe some of the more advanced basics? I call them advanced basics because even if you're advanced, you need to master your basics. So, the basics and the advanced basics of Web3 security, particularly when it comes to crypto, NFTs, metaverse, owning land, that kind of thing.
No problem. So first things first, I do want to call out. I used to dabble with hacking, hacking stuff. Back in the days, I don't know if you remember this, Dominic. I was playing around viruses because you're curious. Right? I'm curious. I don't
Yeah.
know if you heard this virus. There's this with your CD. You put this virus, the CD would spin and then burn your computer, type of deal. Those kind of weird things, or you know how you would message somebody and messages the whole room. I don't know if you've done that in the
Yeah, yeah.
classroom, stuff like that. So I'm just curious because it's just I mean, God just wired me specifically for that, and then obviously I ended up taking software engineering, University of Toronto. But I can play. I mean, I've been doing a lot of hacking stuff. I mean, I want to call myself as a white hat hacker. You know what I mean? Playing a bit of that stuff. Just giving it context, not realizing that the Lord was going to prepare me for such a time as this, which is protecting people's wealth, right? So in the Minus Academy, my first job is to make sure capital preservation, no one loses a cent. And I want to tell you a story real quickly. Same thing with what happened to you during one of my 5 day challenge. A person gets hacked along day one, day two, day three. I think it was, I don't know if it was in Coinbase. Oh, no, I think it was in Coinbase. $20,000 gone right there as the day was progressing. And I was like, it makes my blood boil. Hearing people not just lose hundreds, not just thousands, but millions of dollars. I was able to save two people in the Minus Academy, recovered their inheritance money, 100,000 plus, recovered that. So these are the stories that I want to say. I mean, someone in my academy with pastor leaders lost $150,000 in FTX. This was pre Minus Academy. If they just got into Minus Academy, I believe we would, and the stuff that we're going to go through, we would have prevented that. Another person, a friend's friend in Orlando, lost $20,000 in Coinbase. But let me go with this exhaustive list. This list continues to grow and get better and better. But can I share my screen, Dominic? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So let me show you here. So we came up with this exhaustive list. Here we go. Let me see here. Okay. All right. If you can, let me know if you can share that. All right. So this is the Minus Academy Security Audit list. What is this here? Let me go here, grab this in the other side. So the first thing in this list is a lot of people don't do this, Dominic. Number one, do not store your cryptos or if you have multiple NFTs in one wallet or in one exchange. This is based on Ecclesiastes 11:12, I believe, or 11:2, where you want to invest or put your put your investments, your assets in seven places. Because we're trained for one wallet, one bank account. So this is the first thing I hear from people. They lose it all. So first things, number one, don't keep it in an exchange. Number two, don't keep it in one wallet. Keep it in eight wallets in eight. All right. So obviously, with what happened with yours with the metaverse, that if you had eight, good thing you didn't have it in one wallet. You would have lost all eight. But in this case, you want to spread it out. All these crazy stories of losing it all, one exchange, one wallet. This is the first thing that I want to mention in this show, Dominic. Right
So
here.
let me get this straight. I have, let's say I'm just a beginner. I'm starting. I have um, several assets. I have a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, a little bit of Solana. Okay, and I have one NFT, maybe two NFTs. This is a majority of us. We're just dabbling, we're learning, we're inching into this. Some of us go all in with one. Some of us have a lot more of one, less than of another. But that's about right. Maybe two or three NFTs and different cryptos. Um, and they're all usually in one exchange, right? How would I divide that up? Should I even divide that up? What should I do with that specific scenario?
Yeah. So what I tell the Minus Academy is once you reach the $1,000 mark, because it doesn't make sense. These wallets, the hardware wallets, can be $50, 100, 150 to $500. So usually, I mean, this wallet here, this is crazy. I mean, this is an engrave. I think can go up to $500. It doesn't make sense. So around the $1,000 mark, what I tell people, Dominic, is when you start going into hardware wallet. But in the meantime, just as a precaution, at least have it in a hot wallet, the hot software wallet, such as a MetaMask, a Trust wallet, or a Coinbase DeFi wallet. When you split it to three, if if you don't follow one of these things, the rest of the list that I'm going to go through, if something goes wrong, you lose your private keys, you get scammed, you get hacked. At least you didn't lose 100% of it. You probably lose only 12.5% of it. So this idea of splitting it to eight ways, the ultra rich, the high net individuals, this is what they do. So when they get scammed or something, they lose something, no problem. They have the other things. In fact, just to share to you, I've been doing crypto since 2014. Dominic, my stuff, Asmin and I stuff is literally spread out 100 ways, right? So, but in your scenario, um, if I don't know if the value is currently $1,000 and up, but if it's 1,000, I would plan to split that first 1,000 because people usually have cryptos between 5,000 to $15,000 eventually. So once the first 1,000, I would put it in one company hardware wallet, which just is a ledger. The next thousand, put it into a Trezor, and then the next would be the next hardware wallet company. I'll mention some of them here. So that's the threshold I tell my community is the $1,000 mark. Yeah.
That's awesome. I really appreciate that information. What I've done is I got a Nano, Ledger Nano. The Nano X is really the best one. I like that. It's Bluetooth. So I'm giving you specific things that I do. I'm not telling you guys this is not financial advice, but it
So
is wisdom, we
so
believe.
Dominic, can I
So
chime in real quickly? Right
please,
there,
this
we
is your
don't even recommend
oh
Bluetooth. Bluetooth is hackable. We actually tell our community to disable Bluetooth and go always with the wired approach. Because here's another one, Dominic. This is a new one we just got recently. Did you know your wireless mouse and wireless keyboard is hackable 3 houses, 5 houses away? And I can take control of
wow.
your. Do you use a wireless mouse and wireless keyboard? By the way, I'm curious.
Yeah, I got one for my
I can
birthday.
go next to your house, 3 to 5 houses away, and I can program that baby. I'm assuming you have Windows or Mac, no matter what. I can create a script and I can, without even you seeing it, take control of your mouse and keyboard. And I'm not even near you, 3 to 5 houses away, amplified, take control of that frequency and do whatever I want to do in your computer and email you, turn on your camera, do all sorts of stuff. That's the newest one we got recently. That was so profound. So with that being said, with the Ledger, turn off the Bluetooth, always go wired. Why? Because the Bluetooth can be hacked as well. As a hacker, I mean, it's sophisticated, but it's doable. So that's one that I want to mention. Yes, I use a Nano X, but always wired, never go Bluetooth away. Yeah.
Right. There's a S also, but it's only usable with
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
not
have the Bluetooth. Yeah,
compatible with
Nano S and then Nano S
Apple.
Plus. Yeah, it doesn't have the Bluetooth.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah, yeah.
first one.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
those are good. Go ahead. Yeah, those are. I say that's probably my first recommendation, and the first set of wisdom when it comes to assets over a certain amount of money that you can't afford to lose, and that's usually like you said, 1,000 for me. It's like $500 or more. I want that on a ledger business. We have Meta Crusade, which is a project, a crypto related evangelistic project. We use crypto, we accept crypto. We have a ledger for that and a separate MetaMask for that. So, what I like though is the fact that you're able to things up. How this is a question that I have. I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody who's just learning this,
Hmm.
and there's so much fear and worry and intimidation because these hackers are so much smarter than me. I'm still learning the basics. What can I do? How do I simplify all of this? There's so much to learn. There's so much to do. I mean, am I going to have a ton of different passwords? Open up 10 different wallets? Like, what's the deal? What to simplify the process and calm me down when it comes to protecting my assets?
Well, the way I teach it, let me just refresh it because I do want to say first things first is join us to the upcoming challenge in supernaturaltransfer.com. That's one right there. So I'm going to say that because we're going to go over this. The way I teach, Dominic, is think of it as going the shallow end before you go in the deep end. You're learning Bitcoin, you're learning Ethereum, you're learning XRPs, you're learning NFTs piece by piece. You're learning which wallets first piece. You're learning the door, you're learning the kitchen door piece by piece like a house. And when you learn it precept after precept, like exactly what you said, from glory to glory. And same thing, you mentioned about the password. We teach in the academy called KeyPass. It's open source for one master password that has access to all your passwords. Simplify. We're trying to simplify things, but piece by piece, you're learning this. Even this concept of having multiple wallets and multiple exchange is weird because we're taught one wallet, one bank account, right? This is where having multiple wallets that doesn't make sense. But in this case, we always go with kingdom principles, which is right doing things in excellence. And in this case, splitting it 7, 8 ways is key, right? But piece by piece, Dominic, is what I teach as you go for it. That's what I'm going to show you here. The next point, if I may, where 8 hardware wallet companies. So after you learn the ledger in the community, we used to only have ledger and trezor, and I'm like, wait a minute, atomic wallet got hacked, and I'm like, what happens if ledger gets hacked? If you had 7 or 8 ledgers, all those 7 8 can, like, if ledger was to tank, there goes all your cryptos. So I was like, I did my research using ChatGPT and found out there's actually more other hardware wallet companies. I mean, I can mention them briefly to you right here. Let me tell you real quickly as I bring it up, such as not only ledger, not just trezor. We have companies that we are vouching for, that we're researching and that we use, such as keep key wallet, Alipal Titan wallet, Tangem wallet, Engrave Zero wallet is the first wallets. But then when you get these ones, you're learning them one by one. It's like you got a safe, you got a security system, you got a guard dog. You know what I mean? All these upgrades you're putting in place. You're gonna get drones. I mean, I can see Dominic and I. We're gonna have the drones in our property, like with machine guns. I don't know. Like I'm just saying. But like, how do you do that? Oh, we'll learn it. But piece by piece, uh, think of your wallet eventually becoming a $1 million real estate house. You had a wooden door, you upgraded to a metal door, security system, guard dogs, security detail, and then drones, right? So piece by piece, Dominic, as you add it. So not to be overwhelmed, think of it as piece by piece and layers you're putting as we progress in this audit as well. Yeah.
Ah, that's so good. That's so good. Question: how do I get one of these? What is a smart way? Because I heard of a hack that, well, people are actually selling these on Amazon, and they were already preloaded with bots, scripts, and just programming that would
Very good.
allow somebody to wipe them out
Yeah.
remotely later on.
Very good. I'm glad you asked that question. I think this one came from a member. So I'm not taking credit for this. This just came from credit. Did you know even if you get this from Ledger himself and Trezor himself, it can be compromised? Along the way from the ledger store or the treasure store or those hardware wallet company, this could be intercept in the warehouse at the door of your footsteps, and then you can put the malicious code, shrink wrap it again, and put it back in your door. Let me go deeper, Dominic. When you get this, whether you get it from Best Buy, secondhand store, which I don't advise, or Ledger or Amazon, what we teach, check this out. I think it's in my notes here. We're jumping in on it here, which is you need to test your private keys. That's one, meaning make sure your private keys, you backed it up and you test it. But check this out. You need to test your hardware wallet. How do you do that? Check this out, Dominic. When you get this, you number one, you should factory reset it. That's one piece. Secondly, when you get the private keys, you write it down. Then you factory reset it, because if it's compromised, the private key will never change. That was like crazy hack. They put exactly what you said. The bots, the scripts in there. When you factory reset it, that should eliminate it. But the factory reset could be compromised. And how do you do that? I know how to do it. Firmware, software updates, operating system updates. So how do you test it? You get the private keys. When you reset this, it should be totally brand new private keys. If it's the same private keys over and over again, this thing's
It's
compromised.
compromised.
But you said it there, factory
Wow.
reset, just like an iPhone and a laptop. When you get something brand new and you go with the secondary market, you do a factory reset, right? You can't go wrong with a factory reset. But that's a new one that we learned, which is if they put compromise, the private key doesn't change. They're monitoring it. When it hits 10,000 or 100,000 or million, they're going to drain it, right? But that's why
Mm.
when we go back and you split this 8 ways, if you made a mistake and you loaded this up and you never tested it, at least you have the other seven other wallets ready, and you only lost 12.5% as opposed to everything that you
Wow.
have. Yeah.
Bro, this is so good.
Oh
This
yeah.
is gonna save people tons of money.
Yes.
We have a somebody who commented, says social. Let's see here. You guys comment in the chat. I'm not gonna post anything yet, but comment in the chat if this is helping you, because I got to tell you right now, I'm being helped. I consider myself somebody who would teach other people on this, but I did not know about the factory reset of the ledger, so or of any hardware wallet. Like hardware wallets to me were the final. You got the hardware wallet, you buy it directly from Ledger or Treasure, whoever you buy. Never buy from Amazon, never buy from eBay. And I thought that. But now, even if I bought it from them, I still need to make sure that I open the package, check get the key, right? Then I have
Yep.
to factory reset, check to see if the key is different. If the key is not different, okay, this is like usually a series of words, like a
Yep.
phrase, or it could be numbers, but usually it's words. Okay, if those words are not different, then you have a compromise and you need to send it back. You have a compromised
Yes.
hardware wallet, and you do not want to load money on it because there's somebody on a computer somewhere in some other country. Maybe
Yeah.
I love Indians and I love Nigerians, but it could be out here, man. It could be Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican. They scam too,
And the
and
Philippines.
in the Philippines, and they're sitting there on their computer waiting for that thing to get up, rack up, rack up, rack up, rack up. The whole while you're just putting money on there, and they're waiting, and they have their number, and when they see their number, boom, you wake up one day and you check it's gone. So we don't want to do that. There's NFTs that can be done with that too. NFTs are digital assets as well. I do want to go into uh, some of the ways that you can avoid getting into projects, if that's
Mhm.
okay. If that lines up with your bullet, I don't know if that's
Yes,
jumping
it does.
around,
It
but
does.
okay.
It'll
I
get there.
I I want to know, what can we do to avoid getting into projects that don't bear fruit, that ends up being scams.
Yeah.
Either there's two things that could be bad. The project could be a dead project, just a bad project. Everybody had a good intention, but it just didn't go anywhere. So, how to know good projects, and number two, how to avoid projects that are intentional scams. Let's start with the scams first.
Yeah. So intentional scam. So number one, figure says uh, crypto companies have a 92% failure rate, right? A lifespan
Yeah.
of what, 1 or 2.5 years, right? So for crypto projects, crypto coins, out of the 20,000 plus, there's only 8% successful. So that's crazy. Secondly, NFTs, they have a 99% failure rate. There's only
Mm,
1% succeeded. So this is where we strip it all down, and we got to go with kingdom principles,
yeah.
kingdom values. Who's operating in a kingdom way, not in a Christianese way, but in a kingdom way, providing value, providing legitimate technology, providing, helping people, who's transparent, who's king, who are not necessarily Christian minded, but like they're just here to help people. Whether you want to help them with their finances, with
Mm,
NFTs, with tech, with healthcare, with the health sector, with the education sector, these projects, when you read their white paper, and now with ChatGPT, I get ChatGPT. Here's what I do. I get the white paper, feed it to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, grade this. Let me know where you see the where it's a little bit scammy. Let me know. But right there, and obviously Holy Spirit, and then
mm,
thirdly, don't put money that you can't afford to lose. Okay, this is what I
Right.
do. Right? If I'm like, I don't know what this is. I've done my research. DYOR. Do your own research, but still. Only put your money because you never know if that seed's gonna die or bear fruit. This is where you only put what you're okay to lose. So those are the pieces. But then even here, I didn't put this in the chat, but there's this framework called the PATH framework, Dominic. You look at publicity, P for publicity. Are these guys public? Are they showing their socials? Are they showing their face? Are they showing their LinkedIn activity? Are they active? Are they constantly providing active? They're not three
Mm,
every 3 months they're posting T technology. Are they providing value? Is it the same thing, just Ethereum? Is it just a
mm,
meme thing? Or are they actually providing value? There's some kind of technology that they're doing. And then
mm,
history, H stands for, do they have a beta? That's the simplest one. Everyone's
mm,
like, look at this project. Is there a beta? Is there a testware? Is there an alpha before the real thing? Like there's these soft launches before the hard launch. That's a simple path framework. I discovered that there's a sheet there. You can Google it in Twitter. But these path framework is the most simplest one. Before you do that, and then same thing, just go to the academy. Before I teach people coins like render certain NFTs like Cyber Bibles, I let it go through me first before and the
mm.
team before I let everybody else know about it. You can't go wrong with having mentors that will
Right.
vouch. That's another kingdom principle. In a multitude of counselors, there is safety. You don't just go, "What do you think of this?" to your spouse. What do you think of this to your prophetic friends? What do you think of this to your crypto friends before you make
Right.
the go ahead? Yeah.
So let me go over that real quick. Getting into any project. This is NFTs, crypto project, even a metaverse project. A metaverse usually combines crypto and NFTs to create some environment so people can go in and do whatever they're going to do in that metaverse. So that's all these new projects that are popping up, that the SEC is trying to regulate because there's so many scams and so many different things that don't actually
Mhm.
come into fruition. They have to go through these um, different kinds of tests, right?
Mhm.
So, what I'd like to know is real quick. This is correct. Publicity, right? Are they posting? And number is that right?
Yes.
Publicity. Are they
The
well-known
path transfer.
figures?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So P,
Trans-
what
yep.
you look at them, you look at the builders, you do some cross referencing, you look, do they have a LinkedIn, have they done anything in the past, and things like that. Then you looked at activity. So one of the ways you can look at activity is go to your Twitter, right? Twitter X now has been the primary platform for people to put out information, right? So if you want to know what new projects are coming out, you go to Twitter, but it's filled with projects that are not going to go anywhere, but at least you could see what's going on. You can learn what's going on. You could see, get more information. If you want to go more in depth, they should have a Discord or Telegram.
There
And
you
then you
go.
see how active that is, right? So you
Hmm.
see the activity in the community, right? So, and then T, which is technology. Have they, technology is there anything out released? Is that correct?
It's like, are they actually providing value? Are they just a copycat, or there's actual value that they're printing in? Is it
Okay.
actually life changing? Is it like what happened to XRP? What happened with Ethereum? What happened with Solana? Right?
Right.
Versus these copycats, they're just copying digital. There's nothing differentiating them versus what's out there, right? So
Right.
Toncoin made by Telegram is the fastest blockchain. That's amazing, right? So
Wow.
stuff like that. Where they stand out, right? Cyber
Yeah.
Bibles. You guys are like the first Bible. Like, you're not some fluff. You're not junk. You're actual Cyber Bibles. You're minting it into the blockchain. Those
Right.
are the
Right.
things you want to look for. Yeah.
Right. By the way, guys, cyberbibles.io, we have a special mint going on. The price is near zero. I'm telling you, you guys got to get in on this now. But we are actually providing value, right? So technology, are you providing value? Is there something that I can that other people want, or is it just a meme or something? Just is it just hype based? So
Correct.
the other thing
Correct.
would be H, the last one, is just history. You
Yeah.
look at see how far
Rollouts.
roll.
Have you done previous rollouts? Do you have a beta system? What have you done in the past? Are you, instead of just saying we're gonna create something, Cyber Bibles, and then you never, so you're showing your progress. You said this is what we're doing, this piece by piece roadmaps, piece by piece being rolled out, uh, versus people trusting cryptos and NFT project. We're like, here we go, black box, and here we go.
Yeah.
No, like they have to show the beta, the testing, each of this coming from software development. You like,
Right.
you have bits and pieces showing out the history. Have they rolled out? Have they? Are you version one? Are you version point one? That's super high risk when it's version point one. You've never seen it before. Versus if it was
Right.
version 1.5 going to version two,
Yeah.
ChatGPT 3.5, version 4, version 5. Have you rolled
Right.
out before? Yeah.
And so one way you can do that also in a project that may not have different versions is just look at their roadmap,
There
right?
you
So
go. Yep.
you can go to you can go to their white paper, or you can go to their website and look at the roadmap and see how many of those things they've actually accomplished. That's probably one of the best ways to look at their history. So scams in general, big scams, right? So a lot of people have good intention, but obvious scams. Can you give me some points where these are like red flags? Just throw those out there right
So right
now.
here, the public one, it always has a username and a password portal. Hyperverse. There's Christians that are using Hyperverse. All these multi-level marketing Ponzi schemes. Oh, get one Bitcoin and then you'll get three Bitcoins. Get five Ethereums, you get 10 Ethereums. Put one Ethereum. It's like anything get rich schemes that's like promises you great gains. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. If it has a portal, like username and password, you can't even see the team. You can't even see the CEO, the CMO, the CTO, all those the chief teams. It's like this is like scam all over this. And then go ahead.
NFT projects. This is one of the things about NFT projects that I'm like, what in the world? And so many people were getting into these, and you look at the team, and the team are the NFT characters, right? They just have like a little profile picture. There is no, and they have a fake name, right? And there is no LinkedIn. There's no, I can't see anything about these people, what they've ever done. I don't know who they are. These just made up people. And I just don't, some of those have actually succeeded. Some of those NFT projects, like, oh, this is cute. But you know what's happened is it ended up starting off with just a bunch of group of friends in a garage doing something, and it just took off. But those are very far and few between. And if you invest in something like that, you're literally gambling. You're better off going to the roulette and trying to multiply your money that way. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That's why. I mean, they're even getting better, Dominic. They're actually listing their names and their faces, and but then go look for their Facebook page, look for their Twitter page. They're getting better. Like, oh, look at the CEO. You see the picture, but you can gauge it as well. Like, you can see how it's fakeness, or even if they're using avatars, they're getting better and better. But that's what I said. To do your own research, you got to go deeper. Their LinkedIn, their Twitter. Look, Google it, Chat GPT it. You got to do your research for this team, the public, because they're getting better. Or they're showing. I see a lot, especially the older generation. They're like, oh, they're featured in NBC, featured in Amazon. They see Elon Musk. They use Elon Musk's face. Look at these different AI coins. I mean, some of them are getting scammed. I see this again in YouTube. Oh, look at Elon Musk. This, and it's like that's a full scam. Today, I just got a
Right.
text about a delivery. I'm like, guys, we got to use wisdom. Anything that they want you to do quick, anything in get rich schemes, and in this case for public, if they're hiding behind a portal, if they're hiding beyond avatar names, I mean that's like a red flag for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anything that's brand new, I don't get into. This is just my personal philosophy, and I hope it helps all of you guys. I wait. I would rather lose the extra 20% gains that I would getting in super early. It's not worth for me, or even if I can make an extra 100% because I got in super early. I'm not gonna let that emotion and that desire to make them money the money and actually be in the negative. There's too
Yes.
much of a chance, too much of a risk. That literally is called FOMO. So, fear of missing out. That is a huge motivator. And I'm going to just say this, I'm going to interject this, and I'm going to hand it back to you because I want you to give us some more red flags for schemes. Using FOMO is probably the most powerful motivator. There was a research study done in neurology. I want everybody to listen to this and share this, okay? And by the way, remember, if you want more training on this in detail, it's supernaturaltransfer.com. Erwin as your teacher, as your guide, and also I want everybody to stick around to the end because I'm going to share the most elaborate, hoax and scam that I've ever seen so far that just got some of my team members 2 days ago. Okay, so here it is. FOMO actually has been researched. There is a research study that did neurological brain research on people and motivation. Okay, gains, gains, what you're going to get, the good things, only have about 40% of the motivational output as fear of not
Wow.
doing something. So when people were told, if you don't do this, this bad thing is going to happen to you, or you're going to miss out on this great opportunity, that motivated people over 60% more than the
Wow.
people that, this is a research that's been done in a neurological study, than people that were saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to get these gains. Okay. So the motivation was actually based on fear or based on
Wow.
lack, right? So fear of missing out is more powerful than hope of gains. So they watch out for people that have that manipulative power to get you. And so actually, when we talk about evangelism, I'm like, hey, fear of hell is more. I have research says hellfire and brimstone messages will get people saved more than desire to go to heaven. Because some people's lives are so good, they're like, why should I even? I got heaven right now. Rich man to get to heaven. Anyways, I thought I'd throw. People pray when they fear a loss, that a death is on the way. They pray more than they pray for God. Give me that. I'll give me that. They're like, no, God, save me from this. And the motivation is there. So if I say, you're going to miss out, you have the right to $1 million, you're not going to have it. And so it's like, oh, well, I got to do it or I'm going to fear missing out some opportunity that I'm going to have. It's not the gain that's motivating people in these scams. It is the fear of not
Wow.
the gain. It's different.
Wow, wow, wow. So good, so good. And that's what said, the motivator of fear, anything quick, anything quick. And if it's too good to be true, watch
It
out,
is.
watch out, watch out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna share my screen again, real quickly.
yeah.
So here we go. I didn't talk about this. Test your private key. So that's a basic one. Test it. I teach people, have it in metal, Keystone tablet. I think I have it somewhere around here, right here. Right here. Okay, let me see if I can get it here real quickly. So, right here, here's the metal. You want to keep it in this metal. Your private keys in here. In fact, I tell people have one, have your spouse one. If you don't have a spouse, a BFF, and then have a person one, a third one for the third person in your will. So let me cover that real quickly. So now going back to the slides, Dominic, if you can share the slides. So here, another piece is this one's obviously phishing, vishing, smishing. Anytime they try to get your information from you, from text, from emails, from phone numbers, never give any information. Anybody. I work for multiple support teams. We have all this information already. We shouldn't asking you for your phone number, your name, your passwords. What I'm saying is, like, if it's like an online site, what I'm trying to say is don't give your information. In fact, even your pastor, even me, and Dominic, if I can say this, even you, unless you're in person, right? In person, it's like at all costs. We've seen people get hacked with this. And another one, this is new, Dominic. Don't reuse your passwords. Don't put your pins inside another password. Don't use your password in again, because if there's leaks in Google, YouTube, or Facebook, there goes your password floating around there. And here I'm going to go with the next one. It's going to go pretty fast. Number one, use MacBook Wall, right? iOS devices, Androids or PCs are easier to hack than iPhones and Mac. It's just the way it's made. Another piece is the Web3 antivirus. We'll go deeper into that one. That one protects you from phishing sites, contract address being weird, all these stuff. It's amazing. It's going to go through here before it does the real thing. That it's like a buffer. It's like a guardrail that you will hit before it's the real thing. Always read the URL and then the anti-phishing code. What else do I have here? Two-factor authentication wall. Guys, I said not just the SMS, because you can do SIM cloning. If you're gonna do purely SMS, lock your phone number with your service provider and tell them, do not make sure there's a pin when someone's trying to clone my phone. And lastly, QR code is better, but what's best is the UB key. I can't go too deep on that one, but real quickly, I'm gonna close with that one. What does that mean? YubiKey is for you to get into your exchange, you got to put this in and then touch it, right? So those are the things that I want to go over, is pieces. And I mean, we're improving this. You put all this into place, it's almost virtually hard for you to be hacked, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's other pieces as well. The other piece, I mean, that's coming in my mind is there's this thing called dusting, which is they try to mimic your password. Sorry, your address. So let's say you have an address, you have 0x, and in the end you have like, I don't know, 1 2 3 4. They're gonna keep generating address, and then they're gonna dust you with cryptos and NFTs. And then when you're trying to send your cryptos out and you think that's your wallet address, you make a mistake, you click on that when you send it. That's called dusting. That's nothing that's coming in my mind.
Come
Um,
on.
but
That's
like
dangerous
these are the
stuff.
things I'm hoping this is gonna cover what happened to you guys. But here we go. I want to
Okay,
see.
so I just want to refresh. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody what happened and what this elaborate hoax was. Like I said, you got to stay to the end to get it. Right? You can try to
So good.
forward it if you're watching this later. That's fine. Go ahead, but really, let me go real quick over what you said so far. There's virtually 100 different ways that hackers can get to you through Bluetooth, right? So you want to avoid Bluetooth if possible. Now,
Anything
before I
wireless.
could
Anything wireless.
wireless, let me backtrack. Who is this for? This is for people who know that they are called to be either gospel entrepreneurs, kingdom financiers, someone who you know that you are meant to have and be a steward over millions or even thousands in digital assets. And you have told God in your heart that I want to use this wealth that you're transferring and putting into my hands. I want to use it for the kingdom. God put that desire in your heart. That is a calling. That is a specific calling. Call it helps, the helps ministry. And, right, these intercessors that intercede not with just prayer, but with finances and facilitate God's work for eternal glory, eternal reward. That is a huge calling, and it gets attacked by the devil. And there's a lot of ways that you can avoid it. So you have to combine your wisdom with spiritual warfare. There's natural warfare, spiritual warfare, cyber warfare, spiritual warfare. So you're in prayer first and foremost. You're being sensitive to the Holy Spirit. If you don't have peace, don't do it. If you don't have
Come
peace,
on.
just
Yes.
wait. Just wait. Okay. So then the second thing is you got to be surrounded by counsel. And your counsel right now can be someone like just Erwin is the best counsel. I give him all my validations. And go to supernaturaltransfer.com, and it'll help you. If you join that course, you'll get this in detail. You can slow down, but you can also rewind this. Okay, so now since we're speaking to the right people, Erwin, I want to go over and summarize really quick. You want to distribute, if you have something more than $1,000, we recommend distributing it amongst different hardware wallets. Never buy the hardware wallet from a secondary source. Always buy it directly from the manufacturer. When you get your hardware wallet, you're going to want to reset the seed phrase. If the seed phrase is the same after you reset it and do a factory reset, then you need to return it and
Compromise.
get another one. Okay, because
Correct.
it's been compromised. Stay away from wireless things. If you're sitting there, I mean, for learning, it's fine. For learning, fine. We're talking about 100,000, maybe under a few $100s. But if you're managing $1 million of God's money, you're managing $1 million of God's money, you better be careful. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So
don't
just
use
real quickly to add
wireless.
on that, Dominic, make it a practice already, right? Make it a practice because like same thing, like you won't go to a public Wi-Fi network because hackers create public Wi-Fi networks, making you think like
Yeah.
that. So you never connect to that unless you have a VPN as the worst case scenario. But when you started already, getting used to not wireless devices, getting a MacBook, all these things is natural. It's automatic, and you're basically hack proof, right? So like someone tries to offer you a wireless mouse. I recently switched. I had this cool mouse, wireless, and I'm like, this is so organic, this is so cool. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna go wired now, and I'm automatic. So when someone goes, hey, can I just use your mouse? Like someone might say it, right? Like, hey, can I just use your mouse? I want to show you demo this, and you're like, no problem. And then he distracts you, and then he does the script, takes all your private keys, takes all your files, emails it out, and you're like, what just happened? And you're like, oh. Oh, my mouse is working. Like if someone says, can you see my mouse works? Can you see my wireless Bluetooth keyboard works? And then like they stick it in there. man, that this is where automatically I just want to chime in. It's a start it now before the millions, because when that comes, and man, you don't want it to
Yeah.
happen to you. Yeah, yeah.
Never let anyone plug into your computer. If you're using a computer, make sure it's best if it's a Mac or Apple product. They are less
Correct.
hackable, but you can use the PCs as well. But an Android, make sure you have antivirus with all kinds of web protection on there, and a crypto antivirus, which
Yeah,
you're
the
probably going
Web
to
three
have to go.
antivirus. Yeah,
Yeah,
Web three
Web3
antivirus.
antivirus. Okay. And you're going to provide those links in the description later on
Mhm.
in the comments. Some of the other things that you can do, it never, ever, 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 ever give out your personal information, even if it's somebody that you think it's me or Erwin or anybody. They say, hey, this, that, and the other, or got an opportunity. No, we're never going to reach out to you in a direct message. Anybody ever reaches out to you in any kind of direct message, even in ministry, like if Benny Hinn messages you, or somebody that you honor messages you, Franklin Graham messages you, it says we need this for a special thing. Do not. It's automatically a scammer. 100% red flag. Okay, 100%. I guarantee you it's a scammer. They never message you. So unless they come to you personally, or not even through a piece of mail, I would say I would be careful with that. So um, website phishing also is a huge thing, that you're going to see some websites that look similar to the original website, but maybe one word is
Yep.
changed. That got me once. Decentraland, which is spelled was a E instead of an A, and it ended up being a phishing site. Connects your wallet, and then it says, "Hey, something went wrong. You need to re-enter your seed
There you
phrase to
go.
reconnect to your
Yep.
MetaMask wallet." And it asked me for my seed phrase, asked me for personal information. If you put that in there, you will get your wallet wiped out. 100% chance. There's no way around it. Anyone asking for personal information, it's going to be used against you. All right. So let's go over another red flag. Anybody ask you to download
Yep.
anything, plug it into your computer. It's going to be a script. It's going to run. It's going to find. They're going to find your wallet, and then automatically everything is going to be removed from your wallet. Okay, and you can try to contact whoever you want, but the scammer's gone. It's an anonymous thing, and once it's done on the ledger, you cannot undo it. Okay, it's
Hmm.
done. So there is no coming back from that. Do not let, this is the last thing I'm going to tell you. Do not let fear of missing out cause you to make that mistake. Do not let fear of missing out cause you to make the mistake of doing something that compromises. Do not break your own rules, okay? All right, let me go over this elaborate
There you
hoax.
go.
The last few minutes. We only got a few minutes left, and I want you to go ahead and show me all the errors in this, flags in every way that
We,
needs
we
to be
never done
fixed.
this, so I'm excited.
Okay, here we go. Here's the scenario. Here's the scenario, guys. Okay, so you have a piece of land, and you're a builder. Okay, you have a piece of land in Sandbox, and you built it out because you want to create an awesome Christian experience in there. And you actually are a builder, so you go to the Sandbox, and you have your land on your wallet. It's not a hardware wallet. Okay, it's just MetaMask, and you have your build that you built on there, and you got really good at building in the metaverse. You're like, oh, this is so cool. I want to apply to get some jobs to become a builder in the metaverse. Okay, so I'm going to put myself out there and show people what I have, what I've built, use that as part of my portfolio, and make some money. And people are paying what, $30,000-$40,000 for a 3x3 build. They'll pay $10,000 for a 1x1 build. I've seen this happen. Okay, so um, now you have, so you go to the Sandbox, which is a
Sorry,
metaverse,
Dominic, can I chime in
Web3
already? I felt
metaverse.
like I needed to chime in.
Yeah,
So right there, when you said it's in MetaMask, you could have set that MetaMask to be a ledger. So that means that you have that protection right there. So that's the first one. I want to chime in
that
already.
that would have been the first
Yeah,
one, right? That's the easiest
yeah.
one, right? A ledger that you've already
For the
reset the
MetaMask, yep. To have the
the
meta, to
factory
have the land,
reset,
yep. Yeah.
and you verified that it's not that the ledger's not not
Correct. So
been
then
tampered with.
for
Okay,
them to access that land, they have to have the ledger to access it. Yeah.
got it. Okay, so let's move on. I go to the Sandbox Discord and I apply on there. I post myself publicly as a builder in the Sandbox. Okay. I get reached out to somebody and they have a big project and they say, I have a 3x3 land and I'm willing to pay $40,000 US cash to have somebody build on there. We want to interview you. And so you reach out to them. Hey, thanks. I would like to see what you guys are doing and tell me a little bit about your project. It says, here, go to this website. So you go to the website. Okay. You click the link. You click the link and you just go there because you're excited about the $40,000 you're going to make. And in order for you to see what they have already, they want you to download a program that allows you to go through their experience. So you download it and it could be like a game or it could be something that they already have going on. But just like any game, you have to kind of download a program and run the program. And then you can kind of go through their program and see what it is, like Minecraft or whatever, see what they got going on.
So can I
And
interject now real quickly?
yes,
So number one, if it's PC Android, that will get in easily versus Mac, it's more elaborative. And then secondly, is there the Web3 antivirus to see if this is a flag website or not? Right? The Web3 antivirus would have flagged that or a regular antivirus. I prefer the Web3 antivirus or both, which will flag it and say this is a dangerous site you're in. And then if it goes through that wall and then now you're installing this file, this is where PC and Android is easily going to be installed easily because it's yes, yes, yes.
wow.
Versus Mac, it'll be harder. So let's proceed. Those are the layers of protection that we're putting in now. Go ahead.
Wow. So already 3 layers of protection. Also, my personal philosophy is to never click a link. I don't click outside links. I just don't do it. There's really no reason for me to click a link. I don't even know where that link is leading me to. There's really no reason for me. Usually when I look up a site, I also don't type it in on the address bar. What I'll do is I'll do a Google search and I'll scroll all the way
That's
down.
good. That's
I scroll
genius.
around and I see if there's different versions of it. If there's
Hmm.
ones that have different letters flipped around, I try to find the one that's the original version, the real version, and I see if there's
Yeah.
multiple
So,
versions.
so
And I usually click it from Google. Go.
can I chime in real quickly? What I
Yeah.
do? So when I had Windows, I would go a Windows profile dedicated for testing links. So this is the Windows side because
Yeah.
Windows, one link can totally destroy your machine. But
Yes.
now with the Mac side, I'm more confident with Mac's protection with the Web3 antivirus. I don't mind clicking that link. When I click it, it's the next step. Is it, am I going to install a script? Am I going to install a program? Am I going to download a file? Because when that happens, then all my red flags are going to go up like crazy.
Right.
But for PC and Android, I do have a test device before doing it because with PC and Android, depending on your settings, that can auto install easily fast. Versus Mac, it's a little bit harder. Where there, the moment it says what's the next step, that's where I'm like, okay, I have Web3 antivirus. Is it going to be a file? Is it this? Is it going to be an software? And then Mac will automatically say this is an unknown, unknown company that you're about to do, right? So there's all these
Right.
other factors. Go ahead.
So it was a very elaborate event because there's such a um, well built website. And if you scroll down and you look at the founders, they all have LinkedIn profiles. Everything's legit. All of the profiles since
I want
like
the link now. I want to check it out.
2003, 2002, 2003. I mean, like these are old, these are not new social media accounts, and everything looks so legit.
Wow.
And you're just like, wow. And everything looked like it cost thousands and thousands of dollars to build. And you're like, this is not just a small time hoax. You know,
Mhm.
this must be a real legit company. They have big bucks. They've invested a lot into this. They're really serious. Yeah, I get to be part of this. That's another thing. Oh, I'm so excited. I get to feel important and help them build something. I get to be part of this big thing and they know me and I'm reaching out and I'm getting in early. All of these things can motivate us to make mistakes. So it ended up being as soon as the script was downloaded, you can see in real time things
There
popping
you
up,
go.
things
And I'm
moving around
assuming
automatically.
this is PC. This wasn't Mac.
This is
There
PC.
you go.
Correct.
This
Yeah.
is it.
So you could see in real time all these things happening and the wallet gets wiped out. Right. And
Wow.
they had the NFT in there of the land. So That is avoidable 100% by following these rules. Um, if I would have somehow got to the website and I'd looked at everything and I saw that everything seemed to be legit, the thing that would have that this was the kicker: downloading the
Yep.
script. That is what did it. Without downloading the script, so never download anything. And they didn't ask for anything. They didn't ask for anything, but they asked him to download. That was the only thing. So that was very invasive, and that should have been the red flag. For me, that's what I would have done. And I think that even if you didn't know not to download something, if you had some of those other keys like an
Yep.
antivirus,
The Web3 antivirus.
protection, maybe you were using an
Yep.
Apple, and if you had the ledger,
Yep. There's no way
right?
they can. That contract would have never
Nothing.
been approved unless the ledger was plugged in and then it was verified
Exactly.
physically. That's all these layers would have saved that wallet. Now we know, and that's what I said. The PC. This is a great example, Dominic. That's what I said. I still have my PC on my right side to view my viewers on my Zoom and to test out things. And that's what I said. That file, one file, I can write those files right now as we stand. I can write what you just described. That's how I can write
Mm.
that in PC.
Wow.
In Mac, I can't. In the PC, I can create that file. Take control of your mouse and keyboard. I think that's what exactly what happened there in that PC device, because for them to grab the keys, they had to do a series of commands, right? You can't just grab the keys internally. They had to go inside that MetaMask. It is not a file. It was a rabbit. He probably didn't see the script. You said there was script, and he couldn't interrupt it. I mean, real quickly, when you see something like that, turn off the machine. Just go, something was happening, turn off your machine. Just yank out that cable, right? That's another piece I can think of, because if I see that happening on my Mac or PC, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting hacked. Yank out that cable, turn it off, yank out the internet. At least you're midway where it could have happened. But that layer right there, this is where I keep saying, guys, when you're doing cryptos, you're doing crypto and you have cryptos and NFTs, do not use PC and Android. That's it. That's my hard rule. This would have never happened if that was a Mac. This is funny. On a side note, Dominic, did you know? Let's go AI real quickly. In the AI, when the CEO got fired, this is crazy. All right, Microsoft, check this out. This is so funny. Microsoft said, we're preparing all of OpenAI, 700 machines of them, should they jump ship to Microsoft with with MacBooks. This is Microsoft. Why is Microsoft telling people we're going to prepare the MacBooks, not not Windows laptops, HP laptops, Dell laptops, blah 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 laptops? This is Microsoft. I'll give you the article. So that was profound. I was like,
Wow.
even Microsoft doesn't trust their own Microsoft
Wow.
Office. They trust Mac. When you're a developer, when you're a hardcore, it's not just your media ish or you want more power or you're a gamer. Trust me when I say this. The way MacBook is designed, it is harder to hack. It's just the architecture, the way they make it. It's so hard
Yeah.
to hack it. So with that being said, you're that guy. If he had the Mac, this would have never happened. I'm so sad to. I would.
Last recommendation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last recommendation. Everybody should, if you're going to manage the Lord's finances, um, and He's trusting you to steward some a great amount of wealth in these digital assets, you should have a device solely dedicated to this, right? So this would be a separate MacBook or iMac that you can manage those on, and it's only used for that. One of the biggest issues that I've seen, even in some of the prosperity movements and all this, is mingling your personal finances with God's finances. The intermingling of the two, the putting your hand in Jesus's bowl, is very careful. You got to be that, and let the fear of the Lord rise up in each one of us, and let us be responsible. And also, you have personal finances too that you want to be able to transfer some of your personal finances into that. So you want to be able to keep track of that, and you may want to transfer something that God is blessing you, transfer it into your personal finances. But in order to keep track of that, you have to be able to see that transfer record, that ledger. So that would be a smart thing to do. And if you're going to be managing millions of dollars, that is not too much to ask, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, that is not too much to ask for you to be good with numbers and to keep records. And so to separate things, to keep different accounts, I recommend that very much. just because it's good excellence, the spirit of excellence. And remember, those who have faithful with little, those who are faithful with little, God will add much more. So start, even if you only have $10 or something, just start practicing with that, and God will begin to say, I like that, I'm going to add more to that. So I would like to pray, um, and bring us back to not only the reason why we're learning these things, but also um, the best way to manage our wealth and be responsible. And that is through prayer and the leadership of the Holy Spirit, right? So, and also rebuking the enemy, and putting a shield of faith around our personal finances. So, Erwin, can you pray and bring us back to the heart of why we need to learn these things, and the best way by staying in Ghost?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. This
Yeah.
privilege, Dominic. So let's pray. Whew. Holy Spirit, thank you for this time, so that Lord, that no more finances for the enemy. Right now,
Yeah.
we pray that the enemy's finances be dried up as you're correcting the fiat system, as you're correcting the banks, as you're correcting even BlackRock right now. And right now, for us here, Lord, I pray we become great stewards with what you've given us. Holy Spirit, teach us, give us the knowledge, give us the understanding, give us the wisdom, kingdom wisdom, not
Yes.
earthly Babylonian wisdom, but the way the kingdom does it, for us to manage our finances, our cryptos, our wallets, our NFTs well, so that you can entrust us with more, especially with the wealth transfer that's going to about to
Lord.
happen to 2024. Bless everyone that's watching this live and replay, so that you can trust them and that their
Mm.
hearts will be ready as for the portfolio you have ready for us. This we pray in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. God is good, guys, and He has a plan for your finances, and it involves kingdom wealth transfer. He wants to put finances into your hands,
Come on.
people. And in order for you to have that, in order for you to have to be faithful stewards and understand how to protect them, right? So thank you, Erwin, for this. Again, guys, go to supernaturaltransfer.com if you want to learn more. It is probably the best right now. Spirit, it is the best in the kingdom digital asset training that you can get. So God bless you guys. Thanks, Erwin, for coming. We'll
Thank you
see you
so much,
guys later.
Dominic.